What's good, everybody? It's your boy Eddie here, and welcome back to the channel. And I hope you're all having a wonderful day. And for today's sneaker, we have a very recent release. But before we even continue this video, guys, please make sure that you hit that subscribe button down below as well as that notification bell. And with that being said, what we have right here is none other than the Concepts and New Balance 998 in the C-Note colorway. And this is actually a retro sneaker, which makes the 10th anniversary this year. So this originally released back in 2013, and I'll explain more of the details in a little bit. So with that being said, guys, let's just look over the box details pretty briefly. And what I love about it is the fact that it pretty much follows the inspiration of the C-Note. So when we actually look at this box right here, it looks just like an American dollar bill. And we also have the New Balance logo right in the middle, and then some Concepts details on the left and right hand side. And then when we look around the whole entire box, you can see more of the Concepts logos and New Balance logos. And then once we focus onto the sticker tag right there, it does read off as U998CN, and this is a men's size 8. And something that I want to mention about the sizing of the shoe is the fact that I would 100% recommend to go true to size. This sneaker actually fits snug, and not in an uncomfortable way, but more of that sock-like fit, which I really enjoy. And based on what I've seen in some other reviews, the OG pairs, you could have went a half size down. But with the retooling and reconstruction of the midsole for the 998 that New Balance has done, definitely go true to size. I don't recommend going a half size down at all, because then the sneaker will be way too tight and may feel a little bit uncomfortable for you. So regardless if you're narrow footed or if you have semi-wide to wide feet, go true to size and I think you'll be all set. And then once we open the lid, you can see that we have some words right here. And long story short, this is just an explanation or synopsis of the relationship between New Balance and Concepts, as well as mentioning the fact that this is a made in USA sneaker. And if you guys are unfamiliar with New Balance, whenever you see that on a New Balance sneaker, you better get excited, because they are using the most premium materials, and it just looks great quality wise. The craftsmanship, the materials, everything comes together and looks really great on this sneaker. However, I will say that the price point of this collaboration is pretty steep. So the original retail of it was $220 plus New York City tax and $15 shipping, made it to roughly about $255. So that's just something else to note right there. If that price point doesn't bother you, then this is the perfect shoe to buy if you really like it, because the resale isn't too bad on it either. So it's not too far from what the retail price was anyways. So when you go into more of the box details, we are greeted with some extra pair of laces. So the stock laces is in this all white colorway. Then we also have this kind of teal white and then an olive brown, which I think looks really nice. Personally, if I were to keep these sneakers, I would wear the all white laces or this kind of teal white lace, because I think it'll make the shoe pop while also being a little bit more on the subtle side. And once you move on to the inside of the box, you can see that we are greeted with this kind of green wax tissue paper, and it has Concepts and New Balance logos all over it. And that pretty much concludes all the box details. Now when focusing back onto the history of the shoe, it's pretty simple what's inspired by, because of the title C-Note, and pretty much it is inspired by the $100 Blue Note that was created back in 2013, originally designed in 2009, but was available to the public in 2013. And that's where you can see the blue racks details right there with the blue. Then we have these kind of olive/white details, which is pretty much the same color of that $100 bill. So I do appreciate the fact that the history about this shoe is pretty simple and easy to understand, because there's been some other sneakers that's had some way more complex histories about it. However, I do love that with this concept, no pun intended, we do have some details of the $100 bill right here. And then with the blue notes, you can see those little subtle blue details right there, which again fits the $100 bill criteria, which is pretty nice. So now when focusing onto the details of the shoe, we're going to start off with the toe box right here. And as you can see, we have this kind of all white mesh on the toe box. Then once we go right above that, you can see this 3M detail, which is not really going to show unless you're in the dark or you have some flash shining right above it. Then we have this very nice pig suede on the mudguard. I love this detail, and yo, it has that nice backstroke motion. I'm talking about when you rub it, the color completely changes, and then when you rub it back, it goes into that original form. But that is super high quality suede right there. Then when we move more onto the top of the shoe, you can see again that we are greeted with these white laces. And then we have that small mesh detail right here, which is in that same white mesh as the toe box. Then we move on to the top of the shoe, we are greeted with that big 998 logo, as well as New Balance Made in USA, which is embroidered and also separated by different colors. So the 998 is in this kind of copper brown, the New Balance logo is in this white, and then the Made in the USA is in this kind of silver or steel gray. Then when we go into the lateral side of the shoe, we do have a lot of different things going on. So when we look at this end logo, it's actually in this white thick leather overlay, and then right under that there's this kind of olive leather, which is pretty nice. Then when we look at the quarter panel area, you can see again that we have that good quality pigskin suede, which again looks super nice and changes colors based on the way you move it. Then also something to note is the fact that we are greeted with this kind of gray eyelet right here, and then the other eyelets are just simply holes that the laces go through. Then once we go more onto this side, you can see that right at the top of the ankle area, we have more of that mesh, but it's in this kind of olive gray. Then when we look right below that, you can see that we have this brown TPU cage. Then surrounding the whole entire back heel area, you can see that we're greeted with this olive green suede, and it's in that really good quality material. Something else to note is the fact that we do have the Concepts logo printed right there, which is something that differentiates itself from the OG. I never had the OGs, but when looking at some older pictures as well as reviews of the OG pair, there are some major differences, but I'm not gonna really go into that since I don't have it here to compare it to. And then something else to note is the fact that we do have more of those 3M strips. So on the medial, lateral side, and back heel area, we have this nice 3M strip that wraps around, and it makes the shoe pop again in those kind of dark settings or whenever flash is hitting it. Then when we go into the back heel area again, we do have that NB logo right there. And then finally, when looking at the medial side of the shoe, same thing pretty much follows suit as the lateral side, so there's nothing else to report right there. Something else that I want to mention is the fact that we do have another TPU cage in this kind of steel gray, which wraps around that good quality olive suede material in the back heel area. And then finally, guys, when focusing onto the midsole of the shoe, it primarily consists of the colors white, royal blue, and we have this kind of aged absorbed midsole detail right here. Something else to note is the fact that we do have this gray detail or steel detail right here, which is pretty much just some exposed foam, because as you can see, when you wear it a little bit, it starts getting those wrinkles, which I'm not too much of a big fan of, but it's part of the shoe and part of the comfort. And comfort wise, I will say that it is pretty comfortable. It has that firm New Balance feel. However, if I were to choose any other New Balance, it would probably be the 990 V4s, the 992s, the 993s, the 2002Rs. Those are all sneakers that I would prefer wearing over these, just due to the fact that I am not personally a fan of the silhouette. It does have a lot of good concepts and details on it, but personally, I do prefer the shapes of those other models that I just named. So maybe the 990 V4s or the 2002Rs would be my biggest picks and more comfortable picks compared to these. But again, if you like the silhouette, don't make my opinion change that. I'm just telling you guys exactly how I feel. But the silhouette just kills it for me, to be honest, because if this colorway was on one of those other models, I think this would be a super fire, knocked out of the park actual colorway and silhouette. But guys, definitely don't let my opinion change if you really wanted the shoe, unless you're actually on the fence about it, because again, as I mentioned with those other New Balance silhouettes, they just look way better when you wear them with jeans, wax jeans, cargo, shorts, whatever. I made the mistake of wearing these sneakers with joggers for my own foot, so I didn't like how they came out. Maybe if I was wearing some baggy jeans or something that actually went over this tongue, because the tongue tends to stick out a lot if you wear it a certain way, it would have probably came out a little better, or maybe I would have enjoyed the silhouette better. But ultimately, it's up to y'all to make that decision, because I know a lot of New Balance OGs are probably gonna kill me for saying that, because I'm not a fan of these 998s. I'm not a fan of the 574s, and the 574s was definitely a silhouette that was extremely popular, especially back when I was in high school. I don't know about now, but when I used to see people rocking them in the hallways, I wasn't too crazy about them, to be honest. But anyways, guys, with that being said, let's just go right into the outsole of the shoe. And then you can actually see that New Balance 998 detail stamped on the bottom of the heel. And then we also have more of that exposed gray foam right there. And pretty much, guys, that's gonna conclude all the details of the shoe. So definitely, again, let me know what you think about the New Balance 998 Sino in the comment section down below. And now, guys, let's just get right into this on full look, all right? The review as well as the on full look, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I did making it for y'all. Definitely let me know what you think about the concepts and New Balance 998 in the C-Note colorway. Overall, I definitely think that the collaboration aspects of it is super fire, but the silhouette I'm not too much of a fan of, and personally I wouldn't wear that. But definitely let me know what you think. So other than that, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. Y'all already know the rest, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace.